Hi there. In this video we'll be investigating these fans from Lidl that decided to stop working or charging. So these things were left half charged most likely over the winter, so basically from the end of last summer until the beginning of this year's summer, and from all of them, apart from this little fellow, absolutely no signs of life. So this one is still working normally, these two completely dead. And I tried to charge them with multiple chargers, even in extremely dumb and old chargers that although they have a type C type of port, they give continuous voltage 5 volts to the device to charge. This one, as you can see, we have the red light. This one again is still working normally, so this one is our benchmark. But these two, I've left them for hours on multiple types of chargers. Once again, nothing at all. And what I believe happened, many people seem to be having this issue online. Many comments on my video related to these fans. I think the batteries overdrain during the winter. They have some kind of ghost power, I think power drop. I think it's actually probably just standby power, because this is not hard to switch. This is just it's a clicky switch. It's a you saw for a second, so it does have some kind of power, but not enough to do anything, and especially not charge. Again, so they have a bit of standby consumption and they drain the battery from one year to the other below a point where the electronics says, nope, I'm not going to charge this battery anymore. And it seems they were not smart enough to put trickle charge built in. So basically when you connect it, I don't know, after half an hour of just putting tiny bit of charges into the battery, raise it above the normal voltage and say, oh, okay, we can charge this. This is a good battery. They didn't do that. So, yeah, either I find a way to jumpstart these things internally, or they are Gansky. But from one year to the other, you cannot leave them over winter without charging them from time to time. You will end up in the same situation. So yeah, now let's try to open them up. I see these two things right here. Those are telling me most likely we have there some sort of rubber and screws underneath it. So I'm going to attempt to start from here. Might not look that nice at the end, in case I leave marks on the rubbers. No, actually I didn't leave any marks. Easier than I thought. Phillips screws deep in there. Yes, for many people what I'm doing here will not be extremely easy to do if you are not inclined in doing things like this, but I literally don't have any other solution. I don't think there is any other possible solution than get inside of this to the battery itself and give it a bit of juice to take it above the minimum limit where electronics says, okay, let's charge this battery. Because at the moment it says, nope, this battery is never going to charge again. It is some sort of built-in protection, basically. If it gets over discharged, it considers this battery is kind of bad. It has some issues with it, that it discharges so much, but it's biting us in the ass, the fact that they didn't add any sort of trickle charge again. So yeah, I somehow need to get between those two and start spreading them apart. And oh, they are really well made, I can tell you that for a fact, and that's not really helping us at the moment. because we need to spread them apart. Yeah, we will leave some marks, but I prefer to have a fan with marks, but a working fan. I have no clue how I can do this without damaging the plastic too much. Yes, normally you want to be doing this with something made out of plastic. It leaves way less marks, but and doesn't short in case you reach inside too much, so be careful about that. You do have electronics and battery, but it seems to be going with this. I think it's a butter knife, the correct term for it. If it's a roundish, yeah, so in the lower part it doesn't seem to want to come apart. Very strong plastic, very strong plastic, so I can barely spread it. I'm going to do the same on the other side and be back to you. But before, let's take a quick look at Justway, today's video sponsor. And here we are on justway.com, link will be in the video description. They can help you with CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, 3D printing, injection molding and urethane casting, through which you can get production quality level at low volumes of parts. And you can also see all the materials that are available and everything that they can help you with in capabilities. So thank you very much Justway for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to our project. Okay, managed to spread them apart. This one, I think probably it's safe to have it in this position because it seems this part is coming out. If you still have warranty from Lidl, use your warranty. It's the safest bet, but on this channel we fix stuff, so for who doesn't still have warranty, I think it will help more to... Oh, okay, so maybe this bottom piece kind of... No, doesn't seem to want to come out. Wow, are you freaking kidding? Oh, that's rotating. Well, I guess mine will be glued on from now on. Freaking hell. How could you know that this rotates? How could you rotate it? Ah, okay. Anyway, ignore that. Luckily, we only broke 2 clips and I don't care that much about them. But yes, that thing somehow rotates. I said that we broke 2 clips, not one. Where's the second one? Okay, so anyway, this is our battery. It's a lithium battery, made in China. It has the, I think this is temperature protection, but then I wonder what this is. Probably again some temperature automatic cutoff, or those are just the charge wires. We'll see about that in a moment. Could be just the charge wires. Take it out of here slowly. It has some double-sided, no, yeah, oh, it is actually double-sided tape to hold it in place. Yeah, those are just the charge wires. So in theory, if we measure this battery right now, let me see, can I get these electronics out? Yes, I can. If we measure this fellow right here, I expect to find quite a low voltage in there, much lower than something that would accept a charge. And you see it right there. Don't make shorts, that would create a bit of trouble for you. Do these batteries actually have a protection PCB right in here? That could be the case. And that protection might have actually tripped. Again, still bad design, bad idea to do that. Yeah, I understand its use, but doesn't help us. Could be that it has protection in there. Any other way, I don't see how we could measure 0 volts. Let me see when I plug in the charger what actually happens. If the cell itself is actually at 0 volts, that's dead. That cell cannot be reused. Make sure you don't short anything. You see that? It tried to power on for a second because exactly when I plugged it in, I had the button pressed. Let me see if I... So it flickered blue for a second. So it's flickering red. Was it flickering also before? I couldn't see it, honestly. I don't know if it's even the same LED that we actually have access to from the front hall. We might have access to the other one because there's another LED right next to it. So we might not be seeing this fellow, but go in full darkness and try to see a flickering. Now let me try and measure this. .6 volts. Do you see it right there? And it's rising extremely slowly. No, it's actually not rising. Or is it? Might be rising, but extremely slowly, or might not be rising at all, just measurement error. If I unplug this, do we still get something? We got a short blue flash. Yeah, again, wrong polarity. Shouldn't matter, we care about the value, not the polarity. 2.6. Yeah, friends, what can I say? Again, try to leave it for 10, 20 hours, 2 days, 3 days. Maybe it has a trickle charge, but extremely bad and extremely weak trickle charge. No freaking clue. But initially it didn't have a voltage, so something cut it off completely. It was under the absolute minimum level, so it was cut off completely. When I plugged this in, it began to do something. But yeah, let it for a half an hour and see if this voltage changes in any way. Maybe it is trickle charging it, but not just slowly, extremely slowly, at the extent that it might take a matter of days to wake it up. Or maybe it's not trickle charging it at all, and that flickering it's just a matter of showing it's defective, it's in error mode because of the cell being discharged. Anyway, I'm not going to wait for it. Power everything off, unplug this thing, and I'm going to show you what you can do. First order of measures, let it try and trickle charge for a few days and see if it works for you. But try and look for that light. If that light is not flickering, probably it's not doing anything. Not even trying to trickle charge, although I don't think it is based on my measurement. But anyway, one of these, the cheapest that you have USB cables, because we will be sacrificing it. Anyway. Just cut it. You will find in the cheap ones that are not data capable, they are old simple USB with only 4 connections in here, no data that they can transfer in any way, shape or form. Cut the insulation without damaging the wires, so be back after I do that. Or you know what, yeah, it will be a longer video, but I'm going to keep you around. I'm usually going all around and cut until I begin to slowly see the wires with a really blunt knife. We have the wires visible. Now these wires are that thin that I can think, yeah, even with my fingernail I can rip the protection off them. And now we have bare wires. Do something like this so you don't have loose strands. These are really bad quality wires. I think they are, honestly, maybe not even copper. They don't like to rotate. Yeah, these are steel wires coated with copper. Anyway, we will just need to give it a boost in there. So I think we can manage that. Maybe I even cut them too long. make them as short as possible. I'm cutting them off camera so you don't short stuff in there. Okay, and now we need a USB something, anything, a small power bank, anything, but be warned, do not short these two together. Normally most devices do have a short protection, but don't count on it. Okay, this is a really old loser power bank, cheap, no name. I replaced the Accu, it has one of these inside, replaced it with a bigger capacity one. This can also probably be replaced with a bigger capacity one. But for the moment I won't do that. Anyway, that would help actually keep a charge over the winter. Maybe in the future we will replace it. Anyway, plug it in. For me, I will just check to see if we have a voltage coming out, because this wasn't also charged over the winter. I used them for Christmas decoration, so only then they get to see a charge. 5 volts. So yeah, it has a charge in it. That's how normal stuff should work, not discharged by themselves like crazy. Anyway, yes, we are bumping 5 volts into this, which is more than the 3.7 nominal voltage, but it goes to probably 4.2 or something like that when it's fully charged. But anyway, we are putting more than that in here. So just do short burst and then try to measure it if you have a measuring device, multimeter. If not, just after short 5 volt bursts, try to, if I could actually make a proper contact, try to plug it into charge. And if you have a steady 5 volt light, red light, it's actually charging. If not, it's not actually charging. And I have loose strands trying to short this together. We are basically at this moment jump starting this battery, forcing it to take a charge. Might accept it, might not. Okay, let me measure it for you just to see what we did, if we did anything. Normally we should have done something. 3.15, much better than 2.6 that we had before. So you can see just by a tiny bump we already woke this up. Let's plug in the charger, actually power it on first and plug it in, and we are charging. So we woke up the battery, got it over the threshold where it wasn't charging, and now you just leave it to charge for as long as it's needed. So yeah, and it's the same LED. I can see it's the same LED actually. So in theory, if we look at this at night really carefully, we might be able to see the LED flickering when it's plugged in but not charging, honestly. So yeah, this one woken up. I will leave it just a few minutes and then open the other one up and close this one. And I'm stopping here. Nothing is overheating, especially the battery. I can feel a bit of warm on the PCB, but nothing dramatic anywhere. This one is, the diode is quite warm, but it is going through it 1 amp, most likely battery not heating up at all. That's important. Keep an eye on the battery after it has done this, went into the protection mode. But the protection mode did its thing, so it cut off below 2.6 volts. Problem is, it wasn't waking up, so it was useless. It protected something, but couldn't bring it back. Anyway, put it back in here. I don't think it will discharge by itself quickly enough before I'm able to close it up, so we would need to come in this again. Yeah, with weirdness in here. Let me try and put first the PCB in. Okay. And now the cell itself. And everybody's happy with the situation. We didn't break any wires. Nothing is shorting in here. Everybody's happy. We are happy. Put the cover back on. It should in theory clip in here. Make sure we don't catch the wires going to the fan into the clips, because that would create a bit of an issue. The PCB needs to slide into those two, so be careful when aligning stuff. Normally if you align them properly, I think it will slide by default. If it doesn't, then you open it up again. Hop, stop, I don't want to use the battery, the charge that I just gave you. That's not ideal. Little screw right in here. I don't understand why they bothered at the bottom with this situation of rotation. They could have simply put clip on, but anyway, they did it, so nothing that we can do at this point. And it's quite annoying they dropped the screw. It's quite annoying that this problem exists, because these are actually really nice fans. They run for a really long time. We like them a lot in the family. Daughters use them quite a lot. But yeah, this stupid design proves to be quite a problem for many people. Yeah, we do have some opening marks. It is what it is, nothing that I can do. In time they will estompate by themselves. Protections back on for the screws. So quite a bit of attention to details in some areas, but the electronics wasn't thought out properly. Now what I want to do, before losing even more time on this, plug it in to see it charge, because I don't want to need to open this up again. It is charging, I can tell you for a fact. Hard to see the LED, but it is charging. Awesome. Now I will just glue this cap with a type of glue that can be ripped apart if I need to in time. So, be back in a second. Just looking at this before opening it up. Yeah, the LED is flickering. But again, left it for many hours, a few times, both of them, they didn't charge. For the end of it, attempted by hand, attempted to hold it with a cloth. You would need something extremely grippy for it. I'm using this, which will 99% sure leave marks on it. You could try to put a cloth underneath it, but then I don't know if it will grip anymore. So yeah. Okay, I didn't even need to squeeze that much. Rotate it to the left, which is anti-clockwise, and now it should pop out. So yeah, this one we saved, didn't damage anything. Interesting. So now undo screws like the other one and jump start it. Why they didn't build this into the electronics, no freaking clue, but sure as hell they will do it if they get a lot of warranty claims this year. So yeah, there's that. Now back together and charge both of them. Let's see if I can lock this in by hand, but something is telling me that I cannot, so it's pushed in all the way. No chance of doing this by hand. keep it pushed. Don't use up my battery and enter protection mode again. So it's pushed all the way in. I could feel the click, so now it's locked. No marks on it, or no important marks. Edge is much better on this one than on the first one that we opened, so it can be done nicer. Plug it in, and we are charging. So this thing just needed to be woken up because designers did a boo-boo in the electronics design or software. Maybe it's just a software thingy, but anyway, what's done is done. So yeah, now I will charge all of them and keep a good eye on them over time to make sure they are always charged, because in case they end up again in this protection mode, I need to open them up once again. Batteries were not damaged because protection kicked in at the limit voltage. That's kind of a good thing. Without protection, batteries would have been damaged. But then again, product ends up unusable in both situations. Keep an eye on them on the first few charges. Make sure that the battery area especially doesn't overheat. In the charger area you will feel a bit of heat, but battery shouldn't overheat at all. And after that, if everything is fine, yeah, they should work as intended. So that's about it. If the video helps you, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, helps me a lot. Check out my other videos, and as always, see you in the next one.